We back, we back, we're back, we're back, we're back, we're back, we're back, we're back. Hey, welcome to today's video. My name's Alexandra Neal. How you doing? If you don't already know me, hey. If you do know me, hey, how you doing? Hope you guys are well. Welcome back to my channel. We're back. Well, the semester is basically over, so that means I have time to film again and get ready and just do all these things. You guys, I'm so excited. I have so much planned, even though I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do this summer. But besides that, someone in one of my older videos, I think on my study abroad update video, commented, was like, oh, can you do a video about the study abroad process? How do you find programs? Like, how much does it cost and things like that? And I was like, oh my gosh, these people are tired of study abroad content, and I'm here for it. Because I was like, nobody wants to see another study abroad video, but I guess you guys do, and I'm here to make it and go through the process. Because when I did it, I really didn't know anything about the process. I didn't know about the process. I didn't do my research after getting in the process, but like, it still turned out great. But definitely be informed, and that's what this video is about. Inform you guys on the types of programs, how to find programs, costs, and anything else you guys will need while you apply and while you're there as well. So let's get right into today's video. Okay, first things first, finding programs. With Georgia Tech, I go to Georgia Tech. So with Georgia Tech, they push study abroad. Like, even during freshman orientation, they already had the study abroad international like programs there. Like, we have a specific like add-on program to your degree where you can, I think it's called international, just international program, I think. I'll have to leave like the official name in the video. But yeah, and that's where you have certain requirements, like certain languages and like certain amount of semesters you have to study abroad. But yeah, Georgia Tech is big on study abroad, so I did kind of have that leeway in knowing like that was an option. But definitely start early, like your freshman, sophomore year. Definitely, no, I'd say freshman year actually, because that's when I started looking, and I studied abroad my sophomore year. But you definitely don't have to. But I would say start looking your freshman year. Be on the lookout for events that they'll have, like study abroad fairs. That's where I really got to know like my program, and I got to know more about it too. Talk to some upperclassmen and see if they studied abroad, just to like feel it out. And then definitely, if you guys have like an office, go to your campus office and see if you can talk to someone, and talk to your advisor as well, because they can help you kind of navigate what classes you need to take and how that all works. So yeah, finding programs, definitely look early. So sorry if I'm looking down. I wrote everything on a piece of paper just so I didn't forget anything for you guys. But yeah, look early. Looking early is so, I'd say it's like the most important thing, because if I didn't plan out my schedule a certain way, like I wouldn't have been able to study abroad. And that came from going to the study abroad fair, and then talking to my advisor on my classes. And then after that, it was really just making sure that it was gonna fit in with me financially and, you know, otherwise. So yeah, finding programs, looking early. And then, so what happened, oh my gosh, it's not supposed to be a story time, but we went to the study abroad fair, Georgia Tech Lorraine, which is in France. I'm gonna call it GTL throughout the rest of this video. GTL, everyone goes to GTL. My friends they went actually to GTL. And so we went to the fair, you know, obviously we went to the Georgia Tech Lorraine table. We were in there, I was like, oh, bet, you know, they don't really have science classes, but I'm gonna take physics. I'm gonna take all my electives. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, right? So definitely don't limit yourself, because while we were there, I was like, okay, you know, let's go to some other tables. And I went to the Pacific program table, and I was like, oh snap, like they actually have courses that I really need for my degree. And so I definitely say don't limit yourself, and just look at all the programs available, because they have study abroad programs that are faculty led, which is what I went on, where the Georgia Tech professors came with us, and then we were taught by Georgia Tech faculty. And they also have it where Georgia Tech has an entire campus in France, and that's what my friends did, where they already have the campus and the professors there, and then you just go take classes with them. Or you can do this thing at Georgia Tech called LBATS, which is Language for Business and Technology, and that's a little more immersive type of program, where you have a specific like culture or language target, you fulfill that to help your degree and like your career goals. And then you also have exchange, which is a little bit different because it's not through Georgia Tech, it's through the actual university. And so some people, when I was in Australia, they were on the exchange program for that university. So how that works is like you do everything through the other university, but Georgia Tech is already approved courses, so you know you're gonna get those credits back. So you can either do your program through Georgia Tech, or there's so many other like exchange programs that you can go to, but I would just make sure that your credits will transfer as well. And so after you kind of find the program you want and everything, they have program sessions. And I don't know if they're required, but they're definitely highly recommended if you want to like be a part of the process. And so in this meeting, you'll basically just get to have like a bunch of questions answered that you need about your specific program, whether it's cost, whether it's about the actual program, this, that, and a third. So those specific program meetings they're kind of like, I don't say essential because you don't have to go, but they're very, very helpful. So you can get really, so you can really know if like the program is a good fit for you. Because that's one thing that I didn't do. Like I just bless my soul, my spirit. I think I'm so grateful that I ended up on the program I did because it was an amazing fit for me. Like, if you know me, you know that I love the beach. We were supposed to spend, before like COVID happened, like the rest of the time on the beach. Like we had already spent a whole month just traveling to different places, different beaches. Like, what? Like my dream. But yeah, so definitely after you go to info sessions, reach out to people if you know anyone like on campus, upperclassmen who have studied abroad, or even try and find like videos like this or videos like other ones. Like I watched a few other videos of like people who have done, one, study abroad in general, and two, specifically like study abroad at your university. And three, if you can find a video of someone who did your program, that's like even better, And then also try to plan with friends, because I wouldn't say that's essential at all, because I went on mine and I met some amazing people and had a great time and we got along stellar, But I would say that, my friends went together and that was so cool. I was like, oh my God, they're together. They're living their best life. And it was just so cute. So try to plan with friends. I think it could definitely like help you, and you kind of already have like a group going, because in my first like travel video for study abroad, like I knew nobody. Like I was just in the airport so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, who am I gonna talk to? And then I met some amazing people and we went to the taco that first day, tow truck, the whole mess, but we made it and we did it. And it was easier to go in once you get there, even if you don't know anyone, start to talk to people, kind of like, even if you're a little shy, like I can be sometimes, I would definitely just try to be like, hey, here's my name, like, what are you interested in doing? Because I didn't really go in with a plan, but I think going in with a plan could help. Okay, so the next step is, I kind of already talked about this. The rest of the next step is really to look at the program specifically. Look at one, what kind of climate is it at the time you're trying to go? Is this program a good fit for you? Like my program had a lot of travel. Like by the time we finished, I didn't want to travel anymore. Like we picked up and went bus, train, plane, like so many times throughout the experience that we were just constantly on the go. Versus like the other campus, Georgia Tech GTL, like you kind of travel on your own. Like if you didn't want to leave France that entire period of time, that entire semester, you didn't have to. So I definitely think that's something to look at depending on like what kind of person you are. Like, okay, are you gonna be able to keep up with classes and be on the go? Or do you kind of need more of like a schedule, a specific environment that you're gonna be in, and then you can kind of plan your schedule around that as well. So I think that's something just to, think of and keep in mind as you're planning. And then, so the next part is the application. I was too stressed. Like I was so stressed to the point, for really no reason, but I was just too stressed to the point that I just didn't really complete the application until like kind of the deadline. Because one, for our application, we did have essay questions. I know some programs don't really have essays, but my program did have essay questions. And there was also, I'm getting choked up just thinking about that, $500 deposit, application fee / deposit that you have to pay. So it's like you pay it when you apply, and then if you get in, that money goes towards you in the program. But like, say you did get in, like, but I would say don't really stress, because I'm pretty sure most people who applied got in, and it was kind of on a rolling basis. So as people applied and got accepted, that's how it worked. It wasn't like, here we have all these people and we're gonna kind of like narrow down to who to go. I think the way the lady described to me is like, as long as you apply early and you're in good academic and financial standings with the university, then you're gonna be good. Like, there's nothing to worry about. Just make sure you're just thoughtful and you're just like, you know, being yourself in the application and just letting them know why you want to do this, you know? And so doing the application, for the application, there was the fee, and then some of the questions were like, how many hours do you plan to take while you're over here? What year you're gonna graduate? You know, basically like, what classes are you interested in taking while you're here? And then it was like, why is this program a good fit for you? Like, how do you think this program will help you academically, personally, and in your future plans? Like, how do you see this experience being different than the experience you're gonna get on campus? So that's the main thing. Like, study abroad is all about the experience, the connections, and just the new environments and learning new skills right there too. Like, learning to be able to adapt on the go, be able to juggle classes, traveling, and the things that you want to do, like fun and stuff like that. And then also it said, one of the questions, because I wrote these down, I looked at my application, I was like, oh my gosh. It was like, how will this program benefit you professionally and personally? And like, I just really had to think, like, will this experience actually help me? Like, you know, like, in what ways do I think I will grow from this program? And I think I had so much growth in this program, and I definitely talked about it in another video, and just the ways and like the new experiences that I had. Some of them, you know, not so great, like being touched every day by strangers, but you know, some of them, a lot of them were great. It was a good time. And so then after that, after you submit the initial application with your deposit, they'll usually give you like a time that they'll let you know, like get back to you. And then there were like paperwork, like because you are going abroad, you will need a passport. Because we were in different countries for different amounts of times, we travel a lot. I know our visas were a little different, but they walked us through that entire process. Like, they sent the paperwork, they told us what to fill out, what to sign. So I definitely stay in contact with whoever the international or financial advisor who is over the program. Definitely stay in contact with them, because they will be sending you emails with things that you need to do to make sure you're all good and set for the program. But I promise, well, let me not say that, but I'm not gonna say promise, but hopefully they are on it. Like, our girl, our lady, she was on it, okay? She was hitting me up when I didn't pay yet, and we were taking the flight the next day. Okay, she was on it. And so yeah, and then there is like a little quiz. Like, we had like a mini test, make sure like we knew like all the rules that come with study abroad. Like, anything you do over there, like, you will be disciplined over here. Like, say you did something illegal and like stuff happened, like, you can also have campus disciplinary like actions taken against you, and like just different things like that, just different like things. We just had a quiz over that. And then, like I said, forms, like there's a lot of forms, a lot of paperwork. Like, we had to get like insurance, like travel insurance, like on us in case like anything happened to us, and just different things like that. And so now we're into the costs. Yeah, costs. You know, study abroad isn't cheap. You're probably thinking, how am I gonna afford to study abroad? Like, but definitely I'd say one thing about Georgia Tech is when you study abroad, you get in-state tuition, which is amazing if you're out of state paying so much more than people are paying in-state. When you go study abroad on the faculty-led programs, I'm pretty sure, just those, you get in-state tuition. Or if you exchange, you're paying their rates, not like your typical Georgia State tuition. So study abroad technically could be cheaper on the tuition aspect, depending on how your specific school does it. But if you're an out-of-state student at Georgia Tech, definitely study abroad, because you're literally paying less for an even greater experience. And so you also have to take in costs to account of applying in the actual program. And so I know everyone likes all my money, but I looked it up on like my student account, and the total program cost for like, and I did group flight too. And so this includes like group flights, because you will have to figure out your own like flight situation if your program doesn't do it for you. But since we traveled so much, my program paid for all flights during the program, but then I also signed up to just pay for a group flight, so I'd be on the flight with everyone, so I wouldn't have to worry about trying to like find people and stuff like that. And so the total program cost for me was $12,844.
Oh, what? Whoa, whoa, whoa! Wait 1 second.
Whew. Yeah, I know that was pretty expensive, but there are great ways to help you pay for that. Like personally, I still had, my scholarship on campus, so that definitely helped. I had Zell Miller, and so I was able to cover all of my tuition that way, since it's like technically still Georgia Tech like programs, so my in-state tuition was covered still. They had scholarships. Like the money is there, you just have to apply, and I would definitely apply for as many scholarships as possible to help you pay for it. If you get different grants through the government based on your family income, like your FAFSA, then you can also use it for that. I know some people, I forget like what exactly their situation was, but they got government money that they would normally get on campus, and it covered like their fees for study abroad as well. So definitely look into that if you're in like certain expected family contribution for your FAFSA, to see if you can still get that money while you're there. Because with my scholarship, I was nervous I wasn't gonna get it for a second since I wasn't on campus, but I was still able to get it by being abroad. Like we just had to reach out to like the people and see if they were fine with that. And so yes, definitely make sure you look at that for costs. So scholarships through your campus and through like outside people, just like looking online, see if you can still use your current scholarships or government aid. And then yeah, I think those are the two main ways that you can cover study abroad, like outside of like your typical school. And so definitely, even though that does cover the fee, I would say that having money for the trip is also important. So with the way my scholarship worked, is like I would get money every week as long as I completed like the task and things that were required of me. So that's kind of what I used for spending, whether when I went to get food, when I did skydiving and bungee jumping, when we would go places, like we took a weekend trip to Rotorua and did things there, looked in the caves, went to like the sulfur spas. And so you definitely, I don't think it's necessary to have like a lot of money. Like some people, they had a lot of money and they just, use it how they please. So I don't think it's necessary to have a lot of money, but I will say it helps to have like enough money to do the things you will want to do. And so that's another thing while you plan early. Like if you can, like go ahead and work the semester before you want to go. Like, try and get a job if you have time, try and like save up. So when you're over there, you can just have the best experience that you want to have, and you don't feel like limited because of your options. But I know with other programs, like they didn't have as much stuff planned. But with my program, included in our program fees, like they had the trips, they gave us like transportation cards when we were in Sydney. They took us on hikes. They took us to like this one like tapas place for dinner. Like we had things built in to our program versus other programs. It was more like, hey, you're on your own, we'll see you for classes, enjoy your time. So I was also, with FIT, kind of bringing that back up, look into like what kind of program you want to go to, and like, do they have things included, or is everything all on your own? And so just a few, last things that I kind of wrote on the back, make sure that your classes align, because I went on the website, when I was preparing, and I was like, great, I'm gonna take all of these classes. And then before, I did the application, like they had just updated the class list, and it was like all new classes. And I was like, those aren't the classes I just built into this perfect plan. okay? But, I made it work. So make sure that you do look at the classes that different campuses are offering, because they don't all offer the same thing. And then definitely, like I said, need your passport. You will need one of those to travel. And then plane ticket, whether you need to see if you need to buy that yourself, or is that something that your program will do in like a big group thing to try and get discounted rates. And then the last thing I did want to speak about was housing and dorms, because I know some programs housing can be really expensive, so it may be cheaper for you to find people who are already doing that program and like rent a place all together. Or like, so programs will have provided housing normally. Like GTL, they have dorms that people stay at, and they also have meal plans if that's what you want to do. You definitely don't have to do that. And then, but with my program, since we moved around so much, the cost of housing was like included. In New Zealand, we lived in the dorms, and then as we traveled, we pretty much stayed in hotels. We stayed at this one like kind of cabin resort, and so it was kind of included that way. But I would definitely look into the housing options, because don't let university upcharge you for housing when you could, maybe stay with people. Like I watched this one girl on YouTube. She was saying how expensive the housing was at her program, but they ended up finding like this Airbnb to rent for their entire time in the program, and she ended up saving so much money and meeting so many cool people. And so yeah, I would definitely say try to get to know people on the program so you can plan things, and just stay on top of this process. Like start early, look now, write the dates down, make sure you're on top of it, because I think the program for mine filled up pretty fast once the applications were open and able to be submitted. So just stay on time and you guys will be great. If you guys have any more questions, you can leave them in the comment section. If you guys have any other like processing tips or just anything else that might help somebody, definitely also leave that in the comment section below, because that would just be really great in case I left anything out that you guys can think of. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys so much for being here, and I just have so much gratitude to be able to film again and to be here. So thank you guys once again for just showing up for this video just as you are. No one's told you today you look great, you're glowing, we love to see it. And that is it for the video. Thank you so much. Bye guys.